Hello, welcome back to the channel. This is the money game played between Kamoga Rajab and Ssonko Mathias Allan in the Genocide Memory Chess Tournament in Kigali, Rwanda 2017. Kamoga Rajab, aka Rajabov, is a Ugandan chess player well known for his risky style of play and opening theory. He has won many tournaments, including the Kantinti Memorial in Uganda, while Ssonko Mathias Allan is a Ugandan chess player well known for his solid play and position understanding with mind-blowing calculations of up to 25 moves during a game. He has so many victories against most of the top African players, and he has won many tournaments around the world. So ladies and gentlemen, sit back, relax, let me take you to planet Mars. In the white pieces is Kamoga Rajab vs Ssonko Mathias Allan in black. Rajab began with knight f3, knight f6, and after c4, c5, we have the English opening, the symmetrical variation. After knight c3, knight c6, this is a line seen many times, g3, d5. Most times the key move which is played in this position is always d6, but this time we see d5 in order to take over the center. C takes, knight takes, and bishop g2. The bishop and the knight are all eyes on this knight which is on d5. That's why you see knight c7, and after short castling we see e5, taking control of the center, and after d3, trying to bring the bishop either to e3 or either bishop to g5. That's why you see bishop e7, taking control of the g5 square. Bishop e3, rook b8, that support d5 in the future. Rook c1, and after bishop d7, so that the knight doesn't hang after pushing b5. Knight d2. So after knight d2, you know that white is planning to flank the knight on c4 and attack the pawn which is on e5. So tactics like bishop takes c6, knight takes e5 can be seen in the position. Short castling, knight c4, and after f6 to strengthen the pawn which is on e5, knight d5. So he wants to have an exchange of the knight so that he can try to flank the two bishops to be focusing on this king side. So after knight takes, bishop takes check, king goes to h8, and after bishop e4, black has a slight advantage, but bishop h3 would have been considered. Rook comes to e1, and then queen d7, it's a variation which would have been considered. But however, in the game, Mathias played b5, hitting on the knight. Knight goes to d2. After knight d2, you see that the bishop and the rook are attacking the pawn which is on c5. That's why we play knight d4 to block the bishop, knight b3, so that in this position, the knight and the rook are attacking the pawn which is on c5. So in the position, he plays queen b6 to protect the pawn which is on c5. In the game, he played rook e1. So if you go ahead and play knight takes d4, e takes d4, attacking the bishop, bishop f4, rook goes to c8, e3, g5, hitting on the bishop, queen comes to h5, threatening checkmate on h7. So you have no time to win the bishop which is on f5, f5. In this position, you see that two bishops of all the pieces of white are being attacked, but you can't touch any of them. Bishop e5 check, bishop f6, bishop takes f6, queen takes f6, bishop b7, rook b8, bishop g2, d takes e3, f takes e3, queen takes b2, rook takes c5. After all the exchanges, white has a slight advantage. But however, after queen b6, Rajab played rook e1. Black came up with a strategy, f5, hitting on the bishop which is on e4. And after bishop g2, f4, bishop takes knight, pawn takes knight. After knight d2, f takes g3, h takes g3. So in this position, the white pieces are all cramped in one position. The queen has nowhere to move to. That's why black played bishop g5, trying to pin down the knight against the rook. And after rook c2, can you guess the move black played? I'll give you a minute. Black went on to play rook takes f2. What to do in the white pieces? Rajabov took some minutes when thinking about this move. So in the game, Rajabov played king takes f2. In this position, knight e4 would have been considered, but however, Rajabov played king takes f2. And after bishop e3 check, it is checkmate in 5. And after king f1, checkmate in 5, for example, there's a move which can begin with queen d6. And after rook takes c5, rook f8 check, knight f3, queen takes g3, and it's checkmate in 1. Let's go back. After king f1, Mathias played rook f8 first, check, which gives checkmate in 7, and after knight f3, he played queen d6, still putting an eye on the pawn which is here on g3. Queen d2, because now in this round Rajab was desperate for a win, he played queen d2, queen takes g3, and after queen takes bishop, pawn takes queen. There's checkmate looming in 1, and after king goes to g1, bishop h3, knight h4, rook f2, and in this position Rajabov resigned because there's checkmate in 3. I'll leave you the puzzle to solve it so that you also have the enjoyment which I've been having in the game. Thank you very much for watching, and I wish you the best of luck in your games.